Pisces. I'll be doing my regular weekly 3-card tarot reading, and then I'll be doing the combination dice and card reading. Now the cards aren't in any particular order like past, present, or future. And the 3-sided astrology dice represent the zodiac signs, the planets or lunar nodes, and the houses. And the cards that you receive this week is the Magician, the 9 of Wands, and the Fool. I like this spread. This is pretty cool. This has the paw prints of new beginnings all over it. Let's talk about the 9 of Wands first. You know, the Wands are about inspiration, creativity, and determination. But here it's saying there's been some obstacles that have fallen in your way, and there's been some difficulties for you to overcome. And it's telling you right now that you need some strength during opposition because you're physically and spiritually tired. This is another one of the many timeout cards that the tarot deck has. You're taking a respite, but there's going to be more battles to fight. But with the number 9, it's saying that you're coming to some type of completion. The number 9 has many different meanings, you know. It's completion, endings, accomplishments, reaching one's goals. But it also means understanding and wisdom, a higher self-consciousness, altruism, and seeking the truth. And on top of that, it can be that you're leaving your problems behind now. You're making that leap to the finish line. There's an old Latin saying that makes me think of this, where it says, "A rough road leads to the stars." And really, sometimes if there isn't any pain, there isn't any gain. Now the Fool is there saying that you have a new beginning coming up. You're looking at some true potentials and you want to explore them. It's like a spiritual awakening, because the Fool to me is spiritus, which means the spirit of life or the spirit of breath. You're going on a journey now to discover some untapped knowledge that you have, or to learn more knowledge. You know, the Fool does go on foolish adventures, but he's there to accumulate experience. To experience. Period. He wants to turn knowledge into wisdom. Because if you can't apply knowledge, you don't have wisdom. You just have little bits and pieces of things that you know about. And I don't think that this Fool's adventure is considered aimless. You're exploring for some truths. But you know, the Fool does what he pleases, and that makes him in command. But over there on the other side, you have the Magician, and it's saying you can be in control as well as in command. Now you're going to take this Fool's potential and put it into a reality of the material world. The funny thing is that the Magician is rather spiritual. He takes energy from the cosmos and brings it down to Earth. And all he's using is his free will and ideas to put things into reality, into substance. The funny thing is, ideas do have substance. And if the Fool is holding true potential, the Magician is giving you tools and the ambition to utilize this potential to your advantage. The Magician has you channeling your power. And everybody goes, what is power? And I've thought about that. In Spanish, the verb poder means power. But it also means to be able to do something. And that is power. And another tool that the Magician gives you is words. Words is power. The Magician goes abracadabra, and that means what it's said is what is done. And Mercury oversees the Magician card, the planet of communication. So this week it's going to be vital to communicate appropriately and timely. Because if you're back at the Fool stage, you could probably say a few things that are inappropriate. So just watch what you say and speak gently. Now I rolled the dice, And you receive Pisces, Saturn, in the ninth house. Now the ninth house is having you prepare to think big. There's a lot of things going on there. Understanding, education, even some foreign contacts. And this is definitely connected to the Nine of Wands. The ninth house to the Nine of Wands. So somewhere you had a realization or an understanding that you're coming to this completion point and there's a new beginning coming. Might not be the end of a project, it's just a new leg to a project. And this might be manifested from some of the difficulties you had. And now you've overcome them. The problems are behind you and you're going anew. Now Saturn is the taskmaster planet. He's about responsibilities. He wants to make sure that you put your nose to the grindstone this week. Because with the influence of Pisces, you can get into dreamland and get too wrapped up in your unconscious self to think about the conscious self. That's what the magician is doing. He's bringing you out into the world. You're having your quinceañera, your coming out party. But there's some other messages too here that are all connected together. And the influence of Saturn in the ninth house has you clinging to some orthodox thinking. And you might be criticizing things maybe too much this week. And the reason you're doing this is that you're seeing that other people aren't seeing the same thing as you are. Now you're on this fool's quest, and that's the exciting and new, fireworks and everything, but Saturn is bringing some limitations into it. And that comes from the magician, because you have to learn from the magician. Learn how to use your true potential and the tools that he gives you and the words that you speak. And with you being in the ninth house with this die, it is saying it's about knowledge, education, and understanding. And that's what the Fool is about too. He's seeking that. And the magician is assisting with that too. And the Nine of Wands is there to give you the courage to do that leap of faith and take that new journey with the Fool. Now Saturn and Pisces are two opposing forces, and it's like you're going to be floundering in a sea of everyday life needs. And it's really going to be hard for you to discipline yourself. And the normally organized Pisces might be disorganized this week. So maybe it is time to sit back and do the Nine of Wands thing and recoup some of your energy, because there's going to be some more struggles coming up. And Pisces is a very compassionate sign, so don't take life too seriously this week and be too idealistic. Saturn is one planet that takes payments for past life indiscretions. Be careful. Don't be too moody and depressed and have a negative aspect or attitude about life. That's going to even bring things down more. And trust in the future, because you have the Fool and the Magician, and it's saying, yes, new things are coming. And the Nine of Wands is giving you the perseverance and the determination to actually jump across the finish line for whatever project or whatever you've been doing that's coming to a completion. Now Pisces in the ninth house says that you could be deceived by smooth-talking people. This is for the mere reason that this week you want to believe in people. But the Nine of Wands is warning you to be weary, because the itinerant journey of the Fool is a learning experience, and sometimes you have to learn a hard lesson. Make sure this week you're not manifesting some false truths and have some preconceived ideas about how things should end. This is a week to trust your instincts, and if you hear warning bells going off, certainly listen to them and start observing what's going on around you. Well, my advice is to take this auspicious time and do something with it. And I wish you acceptance, peace, and happiness.